Hi, I'm Randy Reid. I'm the Executive Director of the National Lighting Bureau, and we are here at our inaugural Edison Awards. Originally, we were to do this at Light Fair to make the actual presentations, but with Light Fair being canceled, we're doing it through Zoom, the next best thing. I'd like to introduce our Director at Large, Mary Beth Gotti. Mary Beth was in charge of the Edison Awards, and Mary Beth, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thanks so much, Randy. It's my pleasure to really chair this inaugural year of the Tesla Awards here in 2020. And, just a little bit, why the Tesla Awards? Why another lighting award program? And, you think about, the basic tenet of the National Lighting Bureau, it's high benefit lighting. And when you think of some of the key themes today, one of the big ones is the value of lighting. How does lighting make the world better for people, for the environment? So we want to highlight the value of lighting in these projects, but above and beyond that, we wanted to keep it simple. It could be new construction, it could be retrofit. It really gives us the opportunity to share best practices too. What have you done that works? Have you done things that didn't work? Any surprises? What about collaboration? How do you, when you come up with the design, who else was involved in really, evaluating the project? So we're really pleased to be part of this, and we're looking forward to, again, fine-tuning it and getting better and better each year. I'd like to introduce our judges. We have 5 great judges. We have John Paul Friesenier from Lighting Research Center, Ruby Jadwet, who was a director of the NLB, Howard Lewis, vice chair, the NLB, Terry McGowan, director, and then James Yorgey, treasurer, all of the NLB. Today, we'd like to recognize Thu Yu, who designed the lighting for Warner Brothers World at Abu Dhabi. And right now he's in the Netherlands. So a real international visitor. I mean, this is something we can do online that we could never do easily with a live event, that's for sure. So again, welcome Thu. Just a little bit about the project. It's the size of 21 football fields, which is just staggering to me. It's the world's largest indoor theme park, and it consists of 6 different lands, if you will. And his firm was involved with overall site-wide lighting, so that really included everything from the thematic interior spaces, facades, landscaping, as well as infrastructure. So quite an extensive and complex and comprehensive job, that's for sure. Just to kind of get the ball rolling here a little bit, you mentioned that the design intent was to make all the sets appear as in the films. Light and lighting play a vital role to establish the right atmosphere that makes visitors, connect to the cinematic narratives. I mean, it sounds like a real challenge. I mean, where do you begin a design process like that? And who do you got to work with at Warner Brothers in order to, really approve and sign off on your design?
That's a very interesting question. Thanks, Mary. Since the spaces are heavily themed, it is no doubt that the initial design research process begins with watching a whole set of Warner Brothers superhero movies and cartoon animations in order for me to understand the multiple worlds and the storylines so as to establish appropriate design narratives. And then, following that, we have to project ourselves into the film set and think more as a scenographer rather than a traditional architectural lighting designer. The key is to set the mood boards for different themes and carefully select the color palette. This sounds very abstract. Let's take the Gotham City as an example, where a lot of Batman and Justice League story sits. To translate the gothic and the dark theming from an intangible screen legacy, the strategy employs a very low ambient lighting approach. Then the carefully aimed, very sharp, crystal clear, very narrow beam angle focal glow will be enhanced by contrast and stood out. These lighting scenes help visitors to easily connect it with the Batman logo projected onto the dark sky of Gotham City. Just like in the movie and in the film, Meanwhile, we systematically sort out the storyline in chronological order and select the finish and the style of the lighting from those particular times, like Art Deco or Bohemian. So those sort of like physical connection and intangible connection with the film makes people really feel the atmosphere and the story and just get immersed with the film setting. And design for those scenes is an effort in reproducing the film settings on a real stage. Unlike cinematography, there's no post-processing involved. So every steps will be precise. The visual experiences of the theme park are directly defined spatially by the illuminated appearance. So as a result, the decisions were carefully and thoughtfully made. The design delivered by AECOM in conjunction with our sub-consultant called ThinkWell was carefully reviewed by our client Warner Brothers and also the project management from the FARA experiences before everything gets moving forward.
Since this is an indoor environment, can you talk a little bit about how you created this illuminated visual hierarchy for the various lighting effects?
We employed a luminance-based approach by taking both the light source and material reflectance into consideration. Visual hierarchy was achieved using various combinations of light and materials, that is, diffuse illumination on complex material compositions, different focal lighting components on uniformly finished materials, play of global mapping, or just the strategical use of accent lighting of varied hues and saturations.
Great. Any tips or recommendations on the success of useful color-changing LED systems within entertainment venues? Any particular challenges that you had?
Definitely, color-changing LED is able to create dynamism and interaction to enhance visitor experiences and form positive memories. The colors selected should be integrated into the themes to support and contribute to the storyline process. This is the top tip. Random color placement and changing frequency are generally considered to be tacky or jarring and even causing visual discomfort. So we are trying to get rid of those random placement of using colored lighting. We really think through the color palette, the themes behind the film sets, and how those things should be connected before we applied the color lighting in our skin.
Very good. How do you balance lighting for entertainment, which is obviously exciting, and lighting for safety and security and typical visual tasks for patrons and employees who are working in the space?
The themes in many areas provide light for theming that are consistent with functional needs as well, because it's an indoor theme park. We're just changing the normal functional lighting into a particular style by retrofit it or add particular sparkle effects that fits for the theming we want to deliver. So the spaces are fairly easy to balance, but in areas with dark theme or dynamic effects that create a more fluid environment, we integrate the functional lighting more discreetly with our entertainment lighting scheme. Functional lighting and entertainment lighting are generally controlled separately throughout the whole spaces. Multiple scenes are pre-programmed for different use, that is on, off, performance, themed, maintenance, so that the right lighting can be provided depending on the purpose of use.
Okay, great. And, one last question from me, but can you describe the reaction to the lighting in the theme park from either folks who are from key stakeholders, visitors, owners, the workers?
Yeah, in very short terms, everyone is very delightful. We enjoyed the whole process of designing throughout this process, and we can see people visit the spaces, get amazed, and enjoy their time there. The stakeholders are absolutely very satisfied with the final physical outcome. This really realized their imaginations into the physical forms. Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi world literally brings well-known film characters to life and provides fans a truly unique, immersive entertainment experiences. The year-round high volume of visitors shows the popularity of the park. And even if it's not directly recognized, lighting is a large part of how people respond to an experience, because most of the information we get is from our vision. So the time spent exploring every detail has been well worth it. The transformation of an intangible on-screen legacy to a tangible physical form is well recognized by Warner Brothers. Visitors have been absolutely amazed, even overwhelmed, at the dramatic lighting effects. The reactions show that lighting has gone beyond providing area illumination. It has had the power of helping to create new worlds.
Well, wonderful. And I think that the National Lighting Bureau Board of Directors should be able to visit in person, because I think that would be a really nice trip, Randy. I'd like to open up to our judges if they have any questions. Congratulations again on a beautiful project. Judges?
Thanks so much.
Hi, it's Jim Yorgey, and what a marvelous project. Congratulations on this. And you talked about the importance of control and both the entertainment style control and the architectural what I'll call the house lighting, but the overall ambient lighting and the importance of that integration. And was it integrated as well with the sound systems and security systems, both from a guest experience, but also from today's world? Unfortunately, the security issues in today's world. Was there integration with the lighting in that respect?
Yeah, we basically work with a whole experience design team to trying to merge the lighting aspects, acoustic aspects, and also the building management system aspects all together in such a large assets, and trying to minimize the disconnection or the mis-synchronization between sound, light, and the security and general functional use. The whole system we employ are using the best system at that moment. It's a side-wide smart control system. So there's control for entertainment lighting, but that will also talk back to the building management system, allow the centralized monitoring by someone sitting remotely, and the continuous monitoring also guarantees the control system being maintained regularly to provide the high quality of performance.
So the overall theme park management system, that must have been a higher level control system. Whose system did you employ for that higher level?
Yep. Generally, we first talk with multiple control system company, but the final one we used both some of the Lutron and some of the bespoke entertainment lighting system that was not quite exposable to public, because we have to maintain the confidentiality agreement with our client.
Great, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I have one. It's Terry McGowan. I noticed you used the term early on, focal glow. Well, that's a magic phrase in the lighting design community. Were you a student of Richard Kelly, or did you study his works?
I always study his works. Basically, yes. First started my career as an architect, and at the moment I have special interest in lighting. And Richard Kelly was one of the stars for all the lighting professional to establish the connection between design lighting in architecture scenarios.
Yes, and his daughter has carried on the tradition. I think many of the people that work with the National Lighting Bureau certainly know her work, and know her father's work very well. So
that's amazing. I never heard like anything from her daughter. Probably I should do more research to find how his legacy being carried on by his daughter. Yeah, that will be very fun.
oh, she's in New York City, so if you ever go to New York City, she would be delighted to meet you. And I can say that, knowing her as well as I do, that it would be a wonderful experience for both of you.
That's great. That sounds tremendously great.
I do have one practical question. When you're working on an international project like that, do you have access to lighting equipment from all around the world, or is it tend to be from Asia, Europe? Where do you look for lighting equipment that you can specify and that you know will work on the electrical systems and the communication systems that you have in that particular location?
Yeah, for that location, we are allowed to use any equipment from the world, but the client did say they have a preferred like supplier list to make the process a little bit easier. Basically, there's a list of the suppliers that the client has worked with before, and they know exactly how to make those equipment being managed and controlled and maintained. So we have to limit our choice. This is also for the ease of maintenance and project management process and quality surveyor as well. Then most of the lighting equipment we sourced are actually from Europe and the US. And there are some from Asia, but not quite a lot. But most of them are between US and Europe.
Well, I know I have trouble keeping up with the products in North America and perhaps some in Europe. I can't imagine working on a global project, and the catalogs and the specification sheets and everything else must be immense. So that's an effort I don't know that gets recognized, but it certainly is part of the lighting design process.
Exactly. I'm happy that you point out these points as well, especially for such a large project. Architectural lighting and the stage lighting and all the infrastructure lighting, we have multiple people gets involved in the project to deliver the final results. And we all sit in different time zones. We have different familiar lighting equipment we use. In the end, how those cut sheets, luminaire schedule being merged together in a massive package, that's really a challenge. But in the end, we have a very fantastic internal project management team trying to collect things from different time zones, especially in the Middle East. The time zone is just in between where I am in Central Europe and where other people in US. So those things makes it a little bit easier.
Good. Well, thank you. That's a tremendous amount of work that doesn't show up perhaps directly, but nevertheless has to be done in order to make a project successful. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful project, by the way. Really beautiful project. Quick question for you. What is the lead time and how long it take you to complete this project?
We started the project like 3 years before the final completion, probably 4 or 5 years in a longer term, because lighting normally is brought into the project in a schematic design stage instead of early planning, appraisal, concept design stage. Then when we brought in, it took us more than 1.5 years to finish the IFC issue for construction. Then when it's on site, we continuously reviewing some of the procurement process and value engineering process as well before final scene setting and aiming. We started the process in 2015 for our lighting aspects, and the final opening is in 2018. I believe it's in August.
Right.
So it's actually quite a long time.
Well, again, congratulations, and thank you to the judges for participation. And we hope to see another project from you in 2021. Thank you, and congratulations again.
I will be very looking forward to join you in 2021. And thank you so much to give me this honor and this opportunity to talk with you guys.